All right, folks, welcome back to the Crisis Report. It is December 13th, 2025. Yes, we're back to the way we used to do it. We finally got some things figured out with our interwebs and yada, yada, yada. So we're going to be talking today about what's known as the power crisis. And there's a power crisis all over. There's a power crisis in just physical energy, and then there's a power crisis and who's controlling the geopolitical landscape of what's going on. So we're going to go through all of it, and it is good to see everybody. Cronus, how you doing? We appreciate you being here, and we're going to go through a lot of different stuff. We are brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals if you're looking to put your 401k or IRA into gold and silver, and well, there's some good reasons to do that right now. This is a company to do it. Highly rated, touted by CNBC, and they'd like to talk to you if you want to give them a shot. You don't have to oblige to anything. You just listen, and then from there, you either turn them down or you go forward. So give them a shot. Link is in the description. Also like to thank our members like John Evans and many more that are helping to fuel this endeavor called the Crisis Report, which we affectionately say has the most comprehensive news on YouTube, and many people agree with that. Many people don't because they never see who we are, where we are, or when we go live. So that should tell you everything you need to know. And let's just say that they don't suppress people because they're saying BS. They suppress them because they're saying the things that people don't want them to hear. So we talk about all of it. We talk about all the different sides. We show you all the different sides, and we let you guys figure it out for yourselves because we think you're smart. And that's kind of the thing that's going now in the background. What I think is really fueling this intellectually alternative thing that is going on as an A to the other letter I. And that is to basically make you guys not have the critical thinking skills or the ability to get the information to think for yourselves. Because if they can spoon feed you all the information they want, you don't think outside the box and think of things for yourself and critically think for things. Like hopefully most of you did about 5 years ago. I know we did, and it's turning out quite good for us because, well, let's just say we kept things pure. And because we did, we are not suffering in ways other people are. So we will let you guys figure that one out. Anyway, good to see you all, whether you're coming from South Central Troll Country or warm Arizona, or maybe one of the Alphabet Agency's call centers. We don't know. We're glad you're here, and we will be telling you all the information. So let's do it right now. We are also on Kick, and we are also on X, if you would like to see these over there, okay? We are starting to expand out. I actually had done that, and then, well, we're going to have 4 moves in 2 months, folks. We're going to live in 4 different places in 2 months to get to where we're going because we see a lot of problems on the horizon, and we're making moves to deal with that now, as you should be, to deal with it now. When you have choices, then in the future when you're doing things by force or fear. So do things now. Get it down now. Get it done now. So we're making moves as well. We're on Kick. We are on X. Rumble will be back here pretty soon. So it seems like everything is going good and normal here on the Crisis Report. I had to test it out. We're going to get some kids into the room. So that's why we're blathering on for the first 5 minutes. So just know that the first 5 minutes of these broadcasts, if you don't want to listen to this stuff and you just want to get to the information, you can get started at 5 minutes, just on this one specifically. And the reason why is because we respect your time. That's why we put all this together in as quick and as fast form as we can, because we know that you're a busy person. You should not be spending your life on YouTube doom scrolling. That's what we do, so you understand everything that's going on. All right. Let's get started on your Crisis Report for December 13th, 2025. I am PrepperNow. This is brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. Here we go. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signs a medical aid in dying bill into law, legalizing assisted self-harm, because that's what that side of the political aisle wants you to do. Europol releases 48-page report detailing how artificially intellectual and robots may brainwash humans, trigger a human-machine war around 2035, and lead to a human uprising with populist calls to put people first. Sounds about right. You know, that's not a science fiction writer. That is Europol. So everybody sees it. Hopefully you do too. California and other U.S. states are going to sue the Trump administration over the Trump $100,000 fee on the new H-1B visas. United States has removed sanctions imposed on Brazilian Supreme Court Justice Alexander de Moraes, also known as Darth Vader. Trump administration's new debanking report, designed to guarantee fair banking for all Americans, indicates that porn companies were inappropriately discriminated against. Now, we don't agree with porn companies doing the things that they do, and don't worry, that as well will be taken over by the intellectually artificial. But, still, if it's legal, they should be able to bank. So, United States officials says a special ops team boarded a ship in the Indian Ocean last month and seized military-related articles headed to Iran from China. Belarus has freed 123 prisoners, including leading opposition figures Maria Kolesnikova and Viktor Babarika, in return for the United States agreeing to lift sanctions on Belarusian potash, a key component in fertilizer. Philippine Coast Guard said at least 3 fishermen were injured when giant vessel fired high-pressure water cannons at them in the disputed area and waters of the South China Sea. Yes, banks do screw everybody. That's correct. It's been fun teaching my youngins about the Great Depression and telling them that, just because your money is in the bank doesn't mean you own it. Really? Yeah. As soon as it's theirs. If you look at the fine print, if it's in there, it's theirs. And you only get to take it out if you feel like it. And I heard that there's banks, I think it was in Washington State, they said that they are now starting to question if you take out $1,000. And it can be any way. You could Zelle someone $1,000, you could Venmo someone $1,000, you could just take it out of the ATM. They're questioning you. They're wondering, why are you doing that? What are you doing? Are you a good person? The state needs to know. You need to tell the godlike state why it is you need such money. They will keep you warm and safe. Just take it. Put it into your arm and make you feel better. Everybody else is doing it. Trump is expected to sign executive orders to reclassify the weed as soon as Monday, and cannabis stocks have surged. Honestly, I don't really care one way or the other, but I will tell you this. If you smoke that stuff, it makes you stupid. And that's coming from a guy that used to smoke it every day. So don't, whatever is whatever. If it's legal, fine, and you want to do that, fine. But it's like anything in life. If you're doing that kind of stuff, do know that there are detrimental effects that happen. Turkish ferry damaged in a Russian strike on Ukraine's Odessa port. Some channels are saying that this is the beginning of conflict between NATO and Russia. No, it's not. It's another unfortunate mishap. You'll know when something crazy is going on, because on this channel, I'll actually tell you and let you know that it is important, and I won't just put out a clickbait title so you can click on it. And trust me, I'm not in the algo. They will never put me in the algo because we don't do that kind of crap. I saw a channel on yesterday. I'm not going to name these channels. They can do whatever they want. And we all know that they do. And this is the game they create, so it is what it is. But they were saying that basically the title made it look like strikes were already happening in Venezuela, and that they're not. Did Trump say, I want to do land strikes in Venezuela are going to be starting? It's going to be start to happen, like he said yesterday right here? Yeah, but they're not happening. Okay? Trump says a lot of things. Doesn't mean it's going to start to happen. I hope it doesn't. I hope Maduro leaves and things unfold in a peaceful way. But we'll see. Germany's foreign minister, Johann Wadephul, flew to China To negotiate rare earths materials, the Chinese government refused to meet with them, according to Reuters. Back in October, when China froze rare earth exports, the metals that powered EVs, wind turbines, electronics, everything, German automakers immediately warned of production shutdowns. Waterfall tried to fly to Beijing. China denied him meetings with Foreign Minister Wang Yi and Commerce Minister Wang Wentao. ICC prosecutor Karim Khan says the United Kingdom threatened to defund the court and withdrew from its founding treaty if it pursued arrest warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant. Marco Rubio also wants to replace the Cuban government with a CIA puppet state, according to the New York Times. He says he sees Venezuela as the key to toppling Cuba's government. Long convinced that Cuba props up Maduro through intelligence and security support, Rubio believes removing Maduro's would cut off Cuba's lifeline and destabilize the regime. If you take away their oil, that would do it. United States President Donald Trump announces that soon the U.S. is going to war with Venezuela. We'll see. He says a lot of things. Day after the United States captures ship used to transport oil from Venezuela, and Iran seizes tanker carrying 6 million liters of oil. Iran says it has detained 18 crew members of tanker that was carrying 6 million liters of diesel in the Gulf of Oman. Cambodian troops have launched a major offensive and retaken large parts of Prasat Khana, Surin Province, Thailand. Heavy fighting continues in Chongma, Uban Ratchani Province, Thailand. This long-standing war front between the two countries is being referred to as the Battle of Hill 677. 6-7. 4 Thai soldiers have been killed so far in the clashes. New report reveals that advanced machines may become deeply embedded in everyday life, potentially reshaping society into a blissful, peaceful place. Actually, no, it'll resemble a dystopian science fiction scenario rather than a technological utopia. So you got that coming as well. So you know what? Sit back, watch TikTok, tard yourself, and eat nachos, okay? Because God knows there's nothing going on in the background. You should just sit back and just chill, you know? Don't do anything. Everybody's going to take care of you. You're going to get your UBI. It's going to be fan-frickin-tastic. Klaus is going to live to be 450 years old. Klaus! And he's going to have like his head in a glass jar on top of a robotic body as they satanize everybody. Astronomers around the world are closely monitoring the mysterious interstellar object known as 3I Atlas as it passes through the inner reaches of space near Earth. Several United States forces were wounded after coming under fire from unknown assailants in Syria. Total maternity rate versus children per month or per mother, United Kingdom. You can see the end of the British baby boom was driven almost entirely by fewer women having kids and not smaller family size because, well, when the state sits there and says, don't have children, don't have children, don't have children, or every Netflix movie you watch, they have one kid, these idiots suck that up psychologically and then start to do it because they think it's supposedly cool. United States personnel ambushed by ISIS gunmen in Syria, according to CENTCOM. December 13th, 2 U.S. service members and 1 U.S. civilian were killed, 3 service members injured, result of an ambush by a lone ISIS gunman in Syria. Gunman was engaged and killed. Matter of respect for the families in accordance with the Department of War policy. Identities of the service members will be withheld until 24 hours after their next of kin has been notified. Updates will be provided as they become available. We have an update in a few more posts on that one. 18 different bills surrounding internet censorship and age verification have just passed the United States subcommittee today. I'm sure you're hearing all about that on mainstream media, aren't you? Aren't you? Aren't you? Of course you're not. Well, online safety bills. Congressman Brett Guthrie, Kentucky, number 2. Chairman of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce, Congressman Gus Bilirakis, Florida. Chairman of the Subcommittee on Commerce and Manufacturing and Trade, announced a subcommittee markup of 18 bills to protect the children and teens online. Subcommittee on Commerce, Manufacturing, and Trade markup of those 18 bills are H.R. 6290, the Safe Social Media Act, H.R. 6259, No Fentanyl on Social Media Act, H.R. 6289, Promoting a Safe Internet for Minors Act, H.R. 6289, Promoting a Safe Internet for Minors Act, Kids Internet Safety Partnership Act, H.R. 6437, 5360, AI Warnings and Resources for Education, or the AWARE Act, H.R. 6499, Assessing Safety Tools for Parents and Minors Act, H.R. 2657, Sammy's Law, H.R. 6265, Safeguarding of Adolescents from Malicious Interactions and Network Games, also known as gaming, H.R. 6273, Stop Profiling Youth and Kids Act, SPY, H.R. 6253, Algorithmic Choice and Transparency Act. Now, I personally think they should get rid of all algorithms, but we'll see what that one has to say. H.R. 6489, Safeguarding Adolescents from Exploitative Bots Act, or SAFE. H.R. 1623, Shielding Children's Retinas from Egregious Exposure on the Net, SCREEN Act. H.R. 6257, Safe Messaging for Kids Act. H.R. 3149, App Store Accountability Act. H.R. 6333, Parents Over Platforms Act. H.R. 6265, Safer Guardian of Adolescents from Malicious Interactions on Network Games. H.R. 6273, Stop Profiling Youth. H.R. 6253, Algorithmic Choice and Transparency Act. H.R. 6489, Safeguarding Adolescents. H.R. 1623, Shielding Children's Retinas from Egregious Exposure. H.R. 6257, Safe Messaging. H.R. 3149, App Accountability. H.R. 6333, Parents Over Platforms. H.R. 6292, Don't Sell Kids Data. H.R. 6484, Kids Online Safety Act. H.R. 6291, Children and Teens Only Privacy Protection Act. And these notices at the direction of the chairman, the hearing will be open to the public and press and will be live streamed online at energycommerce.house.gov if you have any questions concerning the hearing. So Lord knows, I'm sure ABC and NBC are all over it. They're not talking about the Durka, Charlie Kirk crap and all that kind of stuff. So you just keep watching those breads and circuses, folks, okay? You just sit back and relax. The state is in control. We are the board. We are in control. Big tech continues to tiptoe into crypto. Latest example is a move by YouTube to let creators on the video platform choose to receive payouts in PayPal's stablecoin. Head of crypto at PayPal, May Zabana, confirmed the arrangement to Fortune, adding that the feature is live and, as of now, only applies to users in the U.S. There is a method that came from the East used in the interrogations carried out in prisons in the Soviet Union, where the detainee was placed on the electric chair, and there you would find yourself beginning, against your will, to make statements pleasing to them. The man became a rag that no longer thought, a slave of communist atheists. Well, this is the aim of the biometric society, the abolition of man's thinking at its depths, so that he becomes without God, without Christ, that is, a Satanized man. That is according to Elder Justin Parvu, and that excerpt is from the book Father Justin Speaks to Us, Volume 2. EU intends to read and process all messages on your devices before they're encrypted. Means you write a message to your mom and to the EU at the same time. It's almost like they're trying to put in 1984. But what the F do I know? In Gaza, 9 people were killed by weather-related incidents past 24 hours. 10 buildings collapsed last night. 5 Gazans were killed in a building collapse in the Bir al-Najah area in Bet Lahia in North Gaza. In addition to 10 reported building collapses, Gazan sources estimate that more buildings are expected to collapse. Storm Byron was the most significant rainwater winter event experienced by Gazans in their current situation after the massive destruction of buildings in the Strip in recent months. A record number of Gazans are living in tents, which is why the effects are so severe for them. Global yield crisis. Global 10-plus year government bond yields have jumped to 3.9%, highest since 2009. World bond yields are now 5.6 times above the 2020 Ronademic low. This comes to the cost of long-term borrowing, which has surged across major economies, including the U.S. President Trump says he's leaning toward choosing either former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh or White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett as the next Fed chair. President Trump is asked where he wants interest rates to be next year. His response, 1% and maybe lower than that. You need assets, folks. You need physical items. Is a U.S. power crisis unfolding? Power demand is expected to exceed available electric generation at peak moments by 2028. Peak demand is projected to reach 1,160 gigawatts above the 1,158 gigawatts of anticipated supply. By 2033, the power capacity shortfall could widen. That's why the first project we're going to be doing over at my new homestead is going to be to put in solar power on a personal level. And why is that? Because the power crisis is coming. There's a reason why we want land, and there's a reason why we want water. Well, sunlight, and we'll have all of that stuff. So that's what's going on. Okay? Yes, 1984 is a how-to book. It was. It's now instructional. It's a guidebook. It's a plan. It's a instruction book. It's a manual. Yes, sir, Bob. We're doing great. So you tell all your friends, enjoy the sports ball tomorrow. Okay? Yeah, 1% interest. It's called ZIRP, zero interest rate. In fact, it's called NIRP. Negative interest rate. NIRP. Look that up. That means if you've got money in the bank, you lose it. It's negative interest rates. There's no interest going on. Negative interest rate policy, or NIRP, takes your money and makes you use it. That's where they want to go. They're getting there. But they can't boil the frog too quickly, folks. That might wake up some of the normies, and we can't have them slumbering away and waking up, right? Everything's got to be just nice and right under the surface, just quick enough that they can get it done without any, pushback, but just slow enough so nobody really notices. The exception of us crazies over here sitting there going, I see it. I see it. I see it. There you go. That's your crisis report, friends. That's your crisis report for December 13th, 2025. We're going to look back on these days and just be absolutely, I don't even know how to put it. The halcyon days of 2025. Enjoy them. But you need to get to stepping. You need to be doing things to get her done. Okay? I think you know what I'm talking about. All right, friends. God bless you all. We're brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. Tangible assets. I'm not giving you financial advice, but I'm telling you what we're going to do. We're doing it. Okay? You guys have a great rest of the weekend as well. Okay? We'll be back tomorrow. I'll probably do a one-off video on PrepperNow again. I'm so all over the place. I got a music engagement tonight, which actually pays well. So I hope you're hustling, folks. I really do. Okay, because I'm taking every single nickel we get, and I'm putting it into some way of a protective stance for my family, because that's the only thing I can think of to do. So I'm tired. Would I like to stay home and chill out and watch some BS TV with my wife? Absolutely, I would. But it's time to work. It's time to get things done. It's time to sock stuff away, okay? Cricket in the ant. Which one are you? All right. Have a great weekend. God bless you all. Check us out on the other platforms. I'm going to start posting on Subscribestar and Locals again. Sorry, I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus to get through this second half of the week. As an educator, the couple weeks before Christmas is really, really intense and tough because you're dealing not just with extra push to get everything done. You also have the behaviors. Let's just say that the youngins are a little bit more cray-cray on the weeks before the holidays. So some in a happy way, some in a sad way. So if you have extra food, go give it to a food bank, okay? Seriously. Take stuff in, help people out, be charitable, okay? All right, God bless. We'll see you on the next one.